A lone guy on a fishing trip would likely have a couple of beers at the local bar in the evening, so that's what Victor had been doing. After returning to the motel from the lake, he bathed in the too small tub, changed, then took the short mile-long walk along the highway to the bar. He could drive his truck, of course, but he didn't want to get stopped on his way back by local law enforcement. Even if 2 beers were nowhere near enough to affect his ability to drive or do anything else, because those who didn't drink stood out in all sorts of social situations. A high tolerance for alcohol was a necessity for a man of his profession. Although a drunk could, in theory, do what Victor did. After all, alcohol acted as a catalyst for many killers, albeit without the same considerable remuneration. "A beer," Victor said when the barman asked what he wanted. This barman was French, Parisian by his accent, and about 30 years old. He had been working each of the previous nights, too. On the surface, a civilian. But he had certain features that hummed on Victor's threat radar. The Frenchman was the right age, not too old and not too young. The right structure, strong and trim. He even had the right kind of haircut. No real style, yet too short for an assailant to grab hold of. It was also the kind of cut Victor often had after completing a job as a quick and effective way of altering his appearance. The barman's clothes were loose enough so as not to restrict movement, yet had a minimum of excess that could catch on protrusions or be grasped in a fist. Victor had dismissed him as a potential enemy within seconds of first meeting him. It was the way the barman moved. Too slow. He had a stiffness in his back. Little mobility in his shoulders. No limberness meant no threat. A professional so impeded would retire or be retired, which meant the clothes were just clothes. The fit was just comfortable. It meant the similarity in haircut was coincidence. Probably short and foregoing fashion for convenience, simpler to maintain, less time spent in front of the mirror, short enough to be out the front door straight after toweling post-shower. Nothing to do with the practicalities of either combat or disguise. Just a barman.